Hello there! I'm back. If you missed my last video, definitely go check it out. Some important information about the future of this channel and what I've been doing for the last year, and also what kind of content is coming in the future. But yeah, welcome to the first video in the new era, which isn't super different from the previous one, except that instead of posting non-reaction content and feeling guilty about it, I'm gonna post non-reaction content and feel okay about it. So that's the plan. In case you did not watch the previous video, I am still going to finish Heartstopper. We are still gonna react to that and to the movie when it comes out, but aside from that, there's gonna be a bit of a shift towards doing other kinds of content, including what we're doing today, which is getting deep. So we are going to do a little Let's Get Deep, questions for friends, which, if you watched my last video, I actually purchased this right before the person I mentioned came to visit me. I was so worried about us running out of things to talk about, so I'm like, I need something to help. So I got this so that we could ask each other deep questions. But in any case, so the idea here is there are 3 categories of questions, getting progressively deeper in terms of topic and subject, and I'm gonna pick some randomly and answer them, and I would love to hear your answers. So what is your answer? That's essentially what I was trying to say in that sentence where I already said it. So got it. Sorry, Darla. I freaked out Darla a little bit. That's alright, you can see she's right there. Ah! And that's why you don't move the camera. All right, so let's get deep. Questions for friends. I wonder what the instructions say, honestly. You tell them almost anything, but do you actually know them? Time to find out. Split up the cards into the 4 there's 4 decks. Oh, there's 4 decks. Okay. Icebreaker, Deep, Deeper, and Activity. Spoilers, we're not going to do Activity. How to play. The person who texted another player most recently is the first to draw and read a card. Pull from whichever deck you prefer and answer or do what the card says. Use these cards to stimulate and create fun convos and hilarious moments. I think we're going to stimulate and create some fun convos and hilarious moments here today. Okay, so as I said, I'm going to draw a card randomly and try to answer it. And I would love it if you would give your answers in the comments below. And you don't have to answer all of them, but if there's one question where you're like, ah, yes, I have an answer, please share. Oh, no. Okay. All right, the icebreaker I have randomly chosen is, growing up, which Disney character did you think was the hottest? Oh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I don't know if I really thought in terms of hotness when I was younger. I'm definitely on the asexual spectrum. So yeah, I'm trying to think which Disney. I mean, no one can deny that the fox from Robin Hood is pretty foxy. I can edit out this long, awkward pause. Princess Jasmine from Aladdin, for sure. But I don't think I really thought, did I ever get any kind of like tingles from characters, from Disney characters? I'm not sure I did. Okay, let's try a different one. I'm just full on gonna look through these and pick one that I want. All right, the question that I have randomly selected and definitely didn't go through the deck in search of one that I could actually answer is, what is your favorite thing to eat for breakfast? These days, I usually have 2 pieces of multigrain peanut butter toast or almond butter toast with apple slices and cinnamon on top of them. And I also have decaf green tea because I can't handle a lot of caffeine. Oh no, this is really boring. Is anyone gonna find this interesting? So that's what I usually have for breakfast. How about you? What's your breakfast of choice? All right, so those are our icebreakers. Now we're gonna move on to deep questions. The first deep question that I have randomly selected is, what was your first job? So technically, I'm not sure if volunteer work counts. If volunteer work counts, my first job was, I was a volunteer at the local hospital with some friends of mine when I was, how old was I? Was I like 15 or 16? I was a volunteer at the local hospital. You would think that volunteering at a hospital would be a very wholesome activity. But unfortunately, the friend I was volunteering with had some other friends who were volunteers, and they were, let's say, not the most wholesome of individuals. And so we got up to a lot of hijinks and a lot of trouble. Well, like, we rarely did what we were meant to be doing during that entire experience. What's up? It's Editing Tom. So I'm realizing I did not at all tell any interesting stories about the things that we did when we were volunteering at the hospital. So here's a short selection of some of the things that we did that you should not do when you're volunteering at a hospital. One time we sneaked into a different building and used the photocopier to photocopy a dollar bill because we were convinced that if we printed it out and taped both sides of it together, we could use it in the soda machine to get free soda. And while we were photocopying, one of the people working there came over to us and was like, what are you doing? And I was hiding the photocopied dollar bill behind my back, being like, I don't know, the photocopier just started working. I don't know what was going on. And we backed out, and somehow we did not get in trouble for that. And sometimes we were doing good things, like we would go staff the information desk and help patients find where they were supposed to go, which sounds very good, except we were not supposed to be there. We were supposed to be in the ward pouring water for the patients or doing things like that, which I hated doing because I was terrified of social interaction, as I still am to this day. So the idea of walking into a patient's room, making small talk with them and pouring them water just terrified me. And yet, at the information desk, you're also talking, but it's answering a question, like small talk. Ugh. So yeah, those were some of the things that we got up to. Ironically, the wildest I have ever been was when I was volunteering in a hospital, and yeah, that's all. So my first not paid, but kind of job thing was volunteering at the hospital. And then when I was 17 or 18, I worked at Family Dollar, which was a nightmare. I hated it. I hated every second of it. We had to build the store first because it was a new store that was opening, a new location that was opening. So we had to build the whole store, assemble all the shelves, put all the products on, which was really, really difficult and sweaty work. And then I was working the cash register, and oh boy, it was not a fun time. And they played country music 24/7. Not that I was there 24/7, but nothing but country music. And if you like country music, I'm so happy for you. I cannot stand it. It was nails on a chalkboard the whole time I was there. So I'm really glad I didn't work there for longer than a single summer. But then after that, I got a job at the conference center at my college, where it was basically, so in the summertime, the conference center would be turned into a hotel situation for people who were attending conferences at the college. So I worked the front desk. I had to do a lot of overnight shifts. So I wrote and I played games on the computer, and we watched movies and tried to stay up. And it was a challenge, but yeah, that was a good job. I enjoyed that. There were some cool people I worked with. Although there was one girl who realized that I was queer and then refused to work any more overnight shifts with me. For anyone wondering how she realized I was queer, I came into work wearing a rainbow choker, carrying the copy of Time magazine talking about gay marriage, and the movie that I had us watch was The Hours, which is very lesbian, so shocking that she figured it out. As a result, I got to work with the person who became my best friend during that time, so it ended up being good. But also, homophobia is bad. Don't be like that. So how about you? What was your first job? Tell me all about it. Blah, 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 blah. Tell me all about it. All right, let's go for another deep question. What was your first impression of me? All players must answer. All right, the next question that I have definitely not looked at ahead of time is, what do you do at night when you can't fall asleep? I have a hard time falling asleep in total silence, because basically my brain will just go blah, 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 and keep talking to itself forever unless I have something else to focus on. But it has to be something that is not so interesting that I'm listening to it and not falling asleep. So I cannot listen to audiobooks or something that I've never listened to before. So I have a little MP3 player from the dawn of time on which I have the recorded audio of episodes of old TV shows like Muppet Babies, the original Muppet Babies, The Weekenders, which is an amazing show if you've never seen it, Mr. Rogers, some old sitcoms like All in the Family, The Dick Van Dyke Show, things like that, Golden Girls, of course. I will have like one earbud in my ear as I fall asleep, and I'll turn on one of those playlists and just drift off listening to what Baby Kermit and Baby Piggy and Baby Gonzo's the best one, what they're getting up to. That is how I fall asleep most nights. And if I'm really having a hard time falling asleep, one of the things that is very good at lulling me to sleep is Antiques Roadshow. I will often Antiques Roadshow and nap during the day. There's just something about that show. So I'll search for an episode on YouTube. I really like the ones where like it's an episode from the late 90s or the early 2000s, and they have a little thing that tells you if the value of the object has gone up or down since the show was made. So like they'll be like, oh, this beautiful chapstick is $10,000. Wow. And then down at the bottom of the screen, it'll either go do to show you that the price has gone up since then, or to show you the price has gone down, or nothing if it stayed the same. There's just something. I really like it. So I'll have Antiques Roadshow on quietly, and it just soothes me to sleep. Or Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood is another one that's really good at soothing me to sleep. What about you? Do you have anything you do? Do you drink chamomile tea, or I don't know. What do you do? Okay, we have, if you had $1 million dream home, what kinds of rooms would you want to have? Okay, so $1 million dream home. Now, the thing is, I don't want a big house. I want a tiny home. And not like I wouldn't necessarily want like the tiniest of tiny homes, but like a small home. Roughly the same size as the apartment I have now, which is like 500 square feet roughly. So I want like very compact, minimalist, but cozy. I just want like a cozy little house. It would be nice to have a real drum set and maybe a piano. Maybe I need more than 500 square feet. But most importantly, I would like to have a garden outside and just a really cozy space is what I want. So I don't need like a huge house. I don't want a huge house. I want something small and cozy that has the things that I like and the things that I need and nothing more, with room for someone to stay over. So again, maybe more than 500 square feet, but I definitely want a smaller home and not like a huge place. So, and I think I would want it to be in a nature sort of situation, but not super far away. Like, I think ideally it would be surrounded by nature, but you can very easily walk or bike to like a town center that has everything you would possibly need. Do I want to live in Stars Hollow? Maybe. So what about you? If you had $1 million dream home, or basically just what is your dream home is the question there. So those are our deep questions for now. Let's move on. Let's go deeper. Time for the deepest of the deep. Oh, that's a problematic question. No. Maybe. No. Okay, our first deeper question is, what is the number one thing you look forward to the most during your day? There are a few things that I do every day. One of the things I really look forward to in the morning is my cup of matcha. So basically, my usual morning routine is this. So I wake up, or rather, Darla wakes me up, and I lay in bed until 5 a.m. because I'm not feeding her before 5 a.m. That is where I put my foot down. I feed Darla. I make my breakfast. I make my bed as well, but I make my breakfast. And then usually I do some cross stitch for a while, which I really enjoy. And then I go out for a walk. I've just started doing that again, which I need to do that more because getting out in the morning really does help. But when I come back from that, just when it's 8 o'clock and it's time for work to start, I feed Darla again because that's her snack time. And I make a matcha latte. And how I do this, a very technical process. I put some oat milk, barista blend, into a cup, and I heat it up in the microwave. And in another cup, I put some matcha powder. I put a little water. I stir it around until it's mixed. When the oat milk is heated up, I pour it in, I stir it up, and there's my matcha latte. Clearly, I should be a barista. But yeah, I really look forward to that because it tastes really good and gives me just a little. It is caffeinated, so I am like drinking a bit of caffeine, which again, I'm very sensitive to caffeine, so that's the maximum that I can do caffeine wise. I really look forward to when the weather's nice and we don't have snow, which we have recently, riding my scooter, my e-scooter. It can be a little bit harrowing sometimes because people drive like maniacs, and there's like today I went on a ride, and every single obstacle that could appear in the bike lane did. Like people opening their car doors, a big truck. There were like 27 big trucks that I encountered that were blocking the bike lane. Everyone, like, constantly a car would drive in front of me and immediately decide to park. I'm like, oh my God. Or just people trying to walk out in front of me. So it's not always relaxing, but it is something I really enjoy. And as I already mentioned, I really enjoy doing cross stitch. That's something I look forward to in my day. Right now I'm working on a lot of presents for people for the holidays, so I can't show you what I've done, but yeah, I really enjoy it. So what about you? Basically just a blanket what about you for everything we're talking about here. All right, we'll do one more for now. How has it been 30 minutes? Seriously? Oh my God. Okay, the final question we're going to talk about is, what do you think is your best physical feature? Now, this one is hard for me to answer because as a trans person, I've spent a lot of my life really not liking what I saw in the mirror. These days, it's a lot better, although there's also a lot that I look at where I'm like, oh my God. Like, for example, the lovely gap in between my front teeth because I had a cavity there, and while I was getting another cavity worked on, the amount of pressure being exerted on it by the dentist just went and cracked it right there. So I need to get a crown on my front tooth, and until then, I have this lovely gap, which I don't feel self-conscious about at all. I haven't started smiling like this. So what do you think is your best physical feature? It's really hard for me to say nice things about myself, and I know that is a problem. My eye color is nice. I don't know. Maybe my jaw is okay. I don't know. My hair is nice sometimes. It's difficult. It's really difficult. I've been told I have a nice posterior. I don't know, man. How do you answer this question? What about you? What do you think is your best physical feature or something that you like about your body? Okay, so should this be my next video? I don't know. Is it like, I'm worried that people are gonna watch this and be like, really? This is what you're doing? This is what you're doing instead of reaction content? I don't know. I think it's interesting to talk about stuff and hear what you folks have to say. Like, I love hearing about your stories and your lives. So, please feel free to answer any of these questions in the comments. Tell me about your lives or your best physical features, or I don't even remember what other questions we answered. I should not record videos in the evening time because my brain is fried. Oh no. Okay, well, thank you for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed ? I'm not sure how interesting this was or if it was interesting at all. I don't think it was super interesting, but thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Huge thanks, as always, to our patrons who are amazing, wonderful, fantastic, spectacular, great. And a special shout out to our Nick Nelson members, Paul Z, Kim Engel, Kent Smither, Courtney McAlexander, Angela Moondragon, and Tanya. Okay, that's going to do it for this video. Have a wonderful rest of your day or night or whatever time of day it may happen to be. I'll see you next time. Okay? Bye.